We have left next week is the male, okay, and then all you need to do is just study it all. Okay, the sheets have everything you need to know as far as what I'm going to ask you, part-wise. So, female reproductive system, basically, the main structure is the ovary. That's pretty much the reproductive structure. Can ovulate the egg cells and so on. So that's the ovary. The ovary is going to then go into the fallopian or uterine tubes. So the red here is actually the fimbria of the fallopian tubes, and then the tube comes all the way over here into the uterus. The other structure here is going to be the ovarian ligament. There, in the female, you have a whole bunch of ligaments, basically, that hold the structures in place. Okay, you have the ovarian ligament there. Hard to see. This is the broad ligament. Okay, you have the round ligament over here. Okay, again, you have the ovarian ligament over here, 28. This one here is the uterine tubes from the ovary. Here's the ovary. This is the uterus. Okay. In the male, basically, you just have the suspensory ligament of the penis. That's pretty much the main ligament in the male. Okay. So, what's this structure? Ureter, exactly. Here's the urinary bladder right underneath. Here's the uterus. Okay, here's the ureter, and here is the urinary bladder. Okay. The urinary bladder is basically when a woman gets pregnant and she's already in her second or third term. Basically, as the baby presses down and grows, presses down on the urinary bladder, so she feels like she has to go to the bathroom all the time. Okay, the uterus sits on top of the urinary bladder. Okay, this here is the vaginal canal over here, and then this is the rectum. If you study it or look at it from anterior to posterior, this is the mons pubis. Okay, we'll take it off, the top off, so you can see it more closely. This is the clitoris over here, labia minora and labia majora, okay, the vaginal canal, okay, and the anus. Okay, going from anterior to posterior. So if we take this off, here's the pubic symphysis. Okay, it's a pubic bone. Okay, here's the clitoris right here. Labia minora, labia majora. This here is the urethra. So you have the urinary bladder here. This is the internal urethral orifice. This is the urethra, and here's the external urethral orifice. Here's the vaginal canal. And the external urethral sphincter, which is skeletal muscle that you can control your urination, is basically somewhere in the urogenital diaphragm here. So from anterior to posterior, anterior is the clitoris, then you have the urethral opening, then you have the vaginal canal, and then the anus. Now here's the uterus here, and the uterus it has 3 layers. Actually, we can probably see it better in there. Okay, the red and the pink layer is the endometrium. Okay, you have the uterine cavity. Okay, you have the endometrial layer. Okay, you may have heard of endometriosis. That causes a lot of women problems, the lining of the uterus. The pink here is the myometrium, the smooth muscle layer. Okay, and then the perimetrium is the outside layer. This over here, I'm not going to hold you responsible, I'm just going to tell you what it is. That's the internal os. This is the cervix here. Cervix is the curved area of the uterus. Okay, and the external os is down here that goes into the cervical and canal, and then the internal os takes you into the uterine canal. This here is the posterior fornix of the vagina, okay, and then here's the vaginal canal.